I get it, there's a ton of golf launch monitors that look amazing in the photos, promise pro-level data, and then when you finally set one up in your garage, the numbers feel off, the software crashes, or you realize you need a whole extra setup you never accounted for. That hesitation makes the whole purchase feel risky, especially when you're already spending money on clubs and lessons. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Bushnell Launch Pro is trying to be the answer to that exact pain point. It markets itself as anytime, anywhere, promising the kind of precision you'd expect from a high-end indoor simulator, but in a compact box you can move around. Before I even powered it up, the first thing I asked myself was, what does it actually need to work, and does that match the anywhere claim? Setup in the real world is where the rubber meets the road. The unit itself is a small rectangular pod that you place on the hitting mat, and it connects via USB to a computer that runs Bushnell's FSX Play software. The software isn't included. You need a gaming-grade PC with a decent graphics card, at least an i5 processor, and a solid-state drive to keep the simulation smooth. I had a laptop that could run the software, but I had to free up a good chunk of RAM and install the latest drivers just to avoid stutter. That's the first hidden trade-off. The Launch Pro isn't a standalone device. If you thought you could just plug it into a phone or tablet, you'll be disappointed. The anytime, anywhere really means anytime. Anywhere you have a capable PC and a flat surface for the ball to fly. Once the hardware was plugged in, the initial calibration took about 10 minutes. Bushnell's wizard walks you through positioning the pod, setting the height, and hitting a few test shots to lock in the sensor's reference point. It felt straightforward, but it does assume you have a clear line of sight to the ball for the first few swings. If you live in a cramped basement with low ceilings, you'll need to clear some space or risk the ball hitting the wall before the pod finishes its reading. In my case, moving the hitting mat a foot back was enough to get clean data. What really sets the Launch Pro apart is the data fidelity. I've used cheaper models that give you club head speed and carry, but they often fluctuate wildly between shots. The Bushnell unit gave me a consistent club head speed within a 1/20 margin, and the launch angle and spin rate felt realistic when I compared the numbers to a professional launch monitor I rented once. That consistency matters if you're trying to dial in a specific driver distance or fine-tune your iron trajectory. The numbers also feed directly into the FSX Play simulation, letting you watch a virtual ball flight that mirrors the real world. For a home golfer who enjoys a bit of gaming, that visual feedback is surprisingly motivating. Now, practicality. Because the data streams to the PC, you can record a session, export the CSV, and analyze trends over weeks. I was able to see my driver spin drop from 2,800 RPM to 2,400 revolutions per minute after a few focus swing adjustments, and the software highlighted that change instantly. That kind of know-your-numbers capability is exactly what serious amateurs and coaches look for. If you're a club-fitting professional, the Launch Pro can serve as a portable data hub you bring to a client's garage, provided you bring a laptop. But there are downsides you need to weigh. First, the lack of an integrated display means you're always staring at the screen. Some competitors have a small LCD on the unit itself that shows speed or carry at a glance, which is handy when you're doing quick practice rounds. Second, the unit doesn't come with any accessories, no net, no hitting mat, no protective case. Those are extra purchases that can add $100 or more to the total cost, which chips away at the budget-friendly narrative. Third, the software's learning curve isn't negligible. While the initial setup wizard is clear, digging into the deeper analytics like spin axis plots or launch condition heat maps requires a bit of patience. If you're a casual weekend player who just wants to know whether you're hitting farther than last week, you might find the interface more complex than necessary. Who should buy it? If you're a mid-range golfer who already spends time on the range, uses a launch monitor at the club, or works with a swing coach, the Bushnell Launch Pro gives you a reliable data set without breaking the bank on a full-blown indoor simulator. It's also a good fit for anyone who enjoys blending golf practice with a bit of gaming. The FSX Play simulation adds a fun layer that keeps practice sessions from feeling like a